you be part of the 24 or 365-day program?
Yeah, because I have nothing to hide. I have nothing to hide. They can test me 24/7, 365 days.
You deserve better, girl. You know you deserve better. What's up, everybody? Now, you guys know I have the norovirus. All right, so my energy isn't going to be high or anything. But I want to give you guys huge thank yous for everybody who hit my DMs, hit me up, email and stuff like that. You guys were like, "Hey, you're gonna have to go ahead and get better, Biz," because we ain't got that kind of time. You just gonna have to go ahead and get better, brother. I'm sorry you got the norovirus, but you're gonna have to go ahead and get better. I am feeling a little bit better. All right. And I'm telling you, DMs and stuff like that gives me energy. I swear before Lord. I haven't eaten anything but the fluids. I got the fluids going. I got, because I'm telling you, the Hershey squirts and the throwing up. And I mean, listen, bro, you're going to be dehydrated. You gotta keep the fluids going. I'm not sure how many of you guys had the norovirus. Let me know in the comments because it's going around. There you go. Get your fluids. Look, my dogs. You hear my dog? Everybody got to get their fluids. Okay, all right. So let's talk. Dan Raphael, he reported that Errol Spence and Fundora is going to fight March 29th, or that's the target date.
Put the fight on.
Yeah. Put the fight on. But I want to say this. Errol Spence coming back after a 2-year layoff, after taking the beating that he took from Terrence Crawford, I am about 80% to 90% sure he loses this fight. I'm going to be leaning towards Fundora to possibly stop Errol Spence in this fight. And there's no diss towards Errol Spence, but I understand the gravity. I understand the gravity of being gone for 2 years after taking a beating like that from Terrence Crawford and thinking you're going to beat somebody like Fundora your first time at 154 going up against the champ. I understand. See, this is why I made that comment that Terrence Bud Crawford, if he beats Canelo Alvarez, he's greater than Floyd Mayweather, at least a greater fighter. All right, and probably not a greater career, but at least a greater fighter. Get. He hasn't seen me. He hasn't seen me in a day, so that's pajamas, by the way. But yeah, but forget Floyd. He'll be a greater fighter than Pacquiao to me. He'll be a greater fighter than, like I said, I would put him top 5 greatest fighters of all time because I understand the gravity. I understand the gravity of going from 147 at 37 years old and then 1 year going up to 168 and not only winning a fight at 168, but beating Canelo Alvarez, the best fighter at 168, because, Dave Benavidez is gone, the Mexican monster. Definitely the greatest proven fighter at 168. He was undisputed. A guy who's fought up to 175 and a guy who's 4 years younger than Terrence Bud Crawford. You do something like that, bruh. That is unheard of. I understand the gravity of it. I understand the gravity of Jack Johnson beating Jim Jeffries on the nation's holiday in 1911 or when that was. They threatened his life. All right. And he beats Jim Jeffries, knock him out to become lineal heavyweight champ. I understand the gravity of Harry Greb going 45-0 in 1 year. I understand the gravity of Willie Pep having an airplane crash. He was in an airplane accident, and then some weeks later, he finds himself training again, and I think some months later, he's back in the ring. I understand the gravity of that. I understand the gravity of Sugar Ray Robinson going 40-something and 0 and then going 89-0 after only losing once in between. I understand the gravity of that. So I understand the gravity of Errol Spence being gone for 2 years, after getting whipped by Crawford and taking on the champ at 154, Fundora, his first time at 154. That's unheard of. And a southpaw at that, which Errol Spence doesn't do well against southpaws. That's how he lost in the Olympic trials, fighting a southpaw who outboxed him. So Errol Spence doing that is unheard. I'm going to put all my money on my bookie. My bookie that I want to try on Fundora to beat Errol Spence. Let me move on to this. David Benavidez, the Mexican monster. He says this.
We're talking about a Betco. They say he was tested the whole camp. David Moreau was not tested, and after the fight, they didn't do no test, no drug test, which is kind of odd to me, but I'm not I really don't care about that. Even if it was on steroids, I'd beat the shit out of him.
Listen, David Benavidez, you know I love you like a play cousin. We boys, all right? But I love how you sound. You sound like a fighter. Okay, I love what you're saying. But if you get your ass whipped and morale pops, you can't do a Haney though. Remember when Ryan Garcia missed weight and Haney said this?
And at any point, did you consider not taking the fight, considering he missed weight by over 3?
Of course not. It don't matter what weight what weight he came in. I'm a true champion, and I will show it. I'll end this pussy. Get him out of boxing. It's over.
And then afterwards, he start crying about the 143 and missing weight. You can't do that. You can't. So now that you said that, which I love what you said, but now that you said that, if he pops and he wins, you just got to want to run it back and run it in blood. David Benavidez, he also said that he's for 365, 24/7 random testing.
Would you be part of the 24 or 365-day program?
Yeah, because I have nothing to hide. I have nothing to hide. They could test me 24/7, 365 days.
And that's something, you know, just in speaking of the Haneys, that's something that they're kind of kicking off, okay? Which it sounds great, but I'm not for that. I just want to give my take on it. I'm not for it. And it's only because of one thing, marijuana. All right. Marijuana will get you suspended. You can't use marijuana. But in many states, it's legal in life. And though I don't use drugs in any sense, I don't use drugs. I don't smoke marijuana. I do understand the benefits of it. I've studied the benefits of it, especially when it comes to mental health and anxiety. And there's no more of an anxiety-riddled person than a fighter. So, I mean, a lot of times on their downtime, these fighters need something to help them come back down, all right? And you don't want them being a fighter in a domestic sense, all right, or in the household, God forbid. So a lot of times they kind of partake in those things, right? Iron Mike Tyson is an advocate for it. So if you do 365, 24/7, then you have these fighters who can't come down, so now they're just anxiety-riddled people all day, especially with them expecting, they may can get, a random test or vodka come knocking at their door. That's the only reason why. I get why you would want a fighter to be clean 365, 24/7. But unless you make marijuana legal in boxing, I think that is, I'm not sure if that's realistic in doing to support the boxers. Other than that, I'm all for it. But let me know how you feel in the comments below. I'm starting to get dizzy. I'm starting to get tired. You probably can see it in my eyes. I'm about to go lay back down. But I just wanted to show my face. I know you guys were like, hey, Biz, come on, man. Come on with the video. All right? ShowBizz adult. I'm out.